any good teacher is going to make sure that the information you get and the demands are incremental. If you come in and I ask you to play Autumn Leaves, okay, and you're eking through it, and then I say, okay, now the next week I want you to do giant steps through all 12 keys. You know, you came in, you played Autumn Leaves, you played the bass line, which I require, the chords, all the stuff I require. Nice job. Decent solo. Decent solo. Next week, what we've done is he did a nice job. I gave him an incremental step that he could manage. But then what happened? I gave him like 82 steps. And so he feels like, oh man, did I fail? You know, so a good teacher should give you steps that you can succeed at. This is pretty much the way it looks. Here's 100%. Let's say that it's a scale. I ask you to play the C major scale at 60 equals a quarter note, okay, on the metronome. So what happens if you're doing this scale at 100% 4 weeks in a row? What's happened? Who can tell me something about it? What does that mean?
Start losing patience.
Okay.
You'll get bored. You won't get any better.
Precisely. Yeah. Precisely. All right. So one person might say, wow, I'm 100%. I'm really happening. Right? The point is that here's what a good teacher will do. You're doing 100%. What are 2 ways to make that basic exercise, playing the scale, harder? What is one way, the obvious way? Just doing it faster, right? And what's another way?
Different keys.
What different keys that could be? Or perhaps with different articulations. Now I want to hear a crescendo. Now I want to hear this. Now, but what will happen here, the good exercise will do what to that 100%? Where will that 100% go? Will it go down to like 2%? Where should it go down after the new demand? Somebody?
50.
Well, he says 50. I say 75 to 80. And then what do? You work your way right back up, don't you? That is a successful learning model. If you get demands that are so demanding, or the teacher, you walking off the street, and right away you're annihilated. First of all, that teacher's weak. Okay, so if any of you have that, you should immediately leave and come here. No. But the point I'm driving at here is the demands have got to be commensurate with where you are. Okay, if you're intermediate, then we have certain things to give you. Now, as we roll down the road today, you'll find out that some of the demands that we give even beginning players, we give semi-pro to pro players. Because when we get into the realm of aesthetics, someone might be around their instrument with 128th notes, but they're not saying anything. Another person might be able to just plunk some notes out, but they are saying something. Who's heard that? Who's heard someone play with limited technique and say a lot? Okay. So these are the things that, I mean, the people who keep score by the metronome are in trouble, according to my aesthetics. I mean, and unfortunately in our culture here, a lot of music is translated into sports. So in other words, if somebody can play like super fast all over the acts, it doesn't matter what kind of grammar they have, it doesn't matter about their soul. I mean, it's kind of this feigned invincibility, isn't it? Like nothing, I'm immortal, I'm living forever, baby, listen to this, it's incredible. I'm incredible, let's talk about me, And so the point here is that for all of you, if you're working on scales or whatever you're working on, if you can go between 80 and 100%, you are in a good place. And that you have to be clear, what's the criteria for for thinking you're getting better? Okay, speed might be one, that's numerical. You can say, oh, I'm playing it clean at 120 and I was at 110. I'm really getting better. Okay? That's one thing. Another is the subtler things. Now I'm using like my full dynamic range. I'm going from a whisper to a scream. When I'm blowing, nothing is stayed. It's nothing as da 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 da. I went to Berkeley School of Music in 1969, and there was a guy in the practice room, of course, with a headband. I was probably the only person without a headband back then. Look what happened. No. But anyway, I heard him 7 hours a day. You know, incredible technique. Guess what happened at the concert? I mean, there was absolutely no present moment in his playing at the concert. I had heard it like on day 3 of the semester. So, right here, you know, in terms of your own study, or if you're with the teacher or whatever, you should be able to, when you walk in, do something. I mean, unless you're brand new to music. But if you can play for a while, there's something you should be able to do at 100%. Does that make sense? There should be something that you can do 10 times in a row, perfect. Do da da, do da da, do da da. This is perfect. Da da da. Okay, that's something. Okay, and it's not nothing. And it's a starting point. And a lot of people who are adults, you know, are afraid to get started because, you know, especially depending upon their career and their life. You know, I have people who come in here and they're like international stars in business or something, and then they come in here and they're starting at 0. And I take my hat off to them. That's a gutsy thing to do, because you think about on a daily basis, you know, how much acknowledgement they're getting, and now they're at 0. You know, that's a gutsy thing to do. It's great. Okay, so anyway, think about that. The next thing we're going to talk about, we're going to do